Jungle. Audio Jungle. Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Who here is intrigued by whether the supernatural is real even just a tiny bit? I definitely am. I love to watch horror movies, I swear, I'm not a psychopath, and listen to ghost stories, or then I am just plain weird. You decide. Now the Earth has been around for years and years, who even knows the exact time? With it, brings some pretty creepy places. And spooky stories that have been told. So, are you brave enough to explore the world's scariest ghost towns? We will have to see about that. Get ready for goosebumps. Hashima Island, Japan. The Hashima Island was once a thriving coal mine and has now been left abandoned, becoming the ghost town you see today. The island has also been given the nickname Battleship Island due to its resemblance to a large battleship, which isn't hard to realize. It's weird to think that this place used to be one of the most densely populated places in the world, even more than Tokyo. What happened? Since on the island were only living mostly coal miners and their families, once the coal slowly started to run out, so did the jobs naturally. People migrated to other places seeking opportunities where they can continue to support their families.
Down 5.
Pripyat, Ukraine. This Ukrainian town is located near the 1986 Chernobyl disaster site. Soaked through with harmful nuclear radiation, Chernobyl was cut off from the rest of the world and left to rot for decades. The nearby town of Pripyat was similarly affected, and all residents had to be evacuated. Some street artists and explorers now explore the area since the radiation level has dropped, but prolonged stays are still dangerous to your health. If you want a non-nuclear locale to visit, these hotels are the creepiest in the world.
Pond 5.
Oradour, sur Glane, France. The remnants of this French village, barely, stand today as a reminder of the evil acts committed by members of the Nazi SS during World War II. On June 10, 1944, the Germans killed virtually everyone in sight. More than 600 men were gunned down, and the women and children were burned alive inside a local church. Only ashy rubble and fragments of structures remain, but the town is purposefully left alone by the French government as a testimony to the atrocity.
Pond 5.
Krakow, Italy. Krakow was a village built in medieval times that thrived for hundreds of years. Despite its share of plagues and crime, the city survived only to be done in by Mother Nature. A series of landslides in the 20th century finally did the place in. However, Krakow did have its moments in the sun as the background of the Passion of the Christ.
Pond 5.
Lifta, Israel. The village dates back to ancient times, as archaeological remains dating as far back as the Second Iron Age have been discovered on site. In 1945, there were 2,250 people living in Lifta, 2,230 of which were Muslims and the remaining 20 were Christian. During the 1947-48 civil war in Mandatory Palestine, Lifta was depopulated as part of the 1948 Palestinian exodus. After war, Jewish families lived on site, although most of the Jewish community left in 1971. After that, some of the area was used as drug rehabilitation clinic and a high school. The last residents left Lifta in 2017, and since then the government declared the village an Israeli nature reserve.
Pond 5. Pond 5.
Sansi Pod City. Sansi Pod City is located just outside of New Taipei City, Taiwan. Construction of this UFO-style housing development began in 1978, and was intended to be a vacation resort marketed toward U.S. military personnel. After several fatal car accidents during construction and an equally devastating loss of investment, the project was scrapped.
Pond 5.
Kolmanskup, Namibia. There is a spooky ghost town in the African desert called Kolmanskup. In the early 1900s, this was one of the world's biggest diamond mines and, accordingly, people built restaurants, casinos, bowling alleys, and so on. However, the diamond empire quickly collapsed, and all the houses and facilities were abandoned, leaving the town for the sand gods. Ross Island, India. Living on a tropical island can be a real hoot unless the endless natural disasters keep killing the population. One after another, the typhoons, tsunamis, landslides, and other wonders of nature kept eliminating the citizens. However, the old buildings like houses, a church, a hospital, and others, built in 17-20 centuries, are still well preserved in the jungle.
Audio Jungle.